Yeah, honestly, I don't... Dire, I am going to attack you if you do not stop talking about Generaider.
Shut up, Dire. Nobody cares about Generaider.
Dire, stop talking about Generaider. I play it better than you anyway.
Imagine being Dire's teammate. You're like, no, don't worry. I just have to win one game with Generaider.
Let's fucking go.
Dire, it's Dire. This has got to be game 3. Dire lost game 1. 1,000,000%.
You gotta love to see Generaider players getting nibbed on their opponent's turn.
Generaider support! These cards are directly linked to Generaider, and I'm gonna show you how. Anyway, these new Mysterune cards are pretty cool. They're probably gonna be decent in the meta, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about lore. I'm gonna point out all the connections between the Mysterune cards and the Generaiders, because they are connected, as you can clearly see by this diagram made by a sane person. So, let's get into it. Now, the most obvious one is the overlap of themes between the two archetypes, Generaider being a bunch of raid bosses in an MMO inspired by Nordic myths and legends, with Har representing Odin, Jormungandr being Jormungandr, and Hela being Hela. Very creative with the names. And Mysterune is a Skyrim-like game from the player's first-person perspective, with each card being a different class or ability that you, the player, are using. It also plays off of Nordic mythology, with the two fusions being the Crow and Wolf of Odin respectively. It's no coincidence that we have two archetypes set in a video game that draws heavy inspiration from Nordic mythology, so either they're directly linked or there's some idea theft in Konami headquarters. On to the more direct examples, the character in the Art of Deceit has a strong resemblance to Lopter. The white cloak with the red ribbons, the deliberate covering of his face so we can't see him, and his hand doing the exact same pose that Lopter is, just with the other hand. Lopter also represents Loki, the god of mischief, and it's weird that Deceit is called Deceit when it appears the character is giving the player the power they use in all the other cards. Unless this card foreshadows future lore, where the Deceitor is revealed to be Lopter deceiving the player, taking away the power that he had given them. Very fitting for a god of mischief. Another example is Dispel. The two other player characters featured in the art are directly seen in the art of Generaider boss fight. The sword wielder having a green cloak, and the witch having a blue pointed hat and a curved staff holding a red orb, along with the background being an icy background, that fits the setting of Nidhogg's boss room, the same room shown in boss fight. Interestingly enough, boss fight depicts Naglfar crashing into Nidhogg's boss room. I interpret this boss fight as not being the two of them versus the green and blue players, but as versus each other. So something is causing the bosses to fight each other, perhaps some kind of deceit among them? The art on Slumber appears to be the scene from Generaider boss fight of Jormungandr attacking a player, but from a different angle. The creature looks a bit different, however, and that could be chalked up to a different artist, but it's too murky to say for sure in my opinion. The Art of Destruction has a player attacking some kind of white and gold wall. This is a bit of a stretch, but it could be argued that this is a player fighting Utgarda. But something more interesting here, you're shown with two party members in this art. The one on the left is Moonin, and the one on the right appears to be similar, both of them having crow wings and her having a blue dress to contrast with Moonin's red outfit. So it appears that she's supposed to be Odin's second crow and a future fusion for the archetype. Going along with the party members, some people claim that the statue is similar to Har, and while I don't agree 100%, it's true that they both only have one red eye, albeit on the different side, but this ties back to them being Odin, and if they are Odin, then are party members of Odin's crows and wolves? Might end up betraying us? And if they were given to us by Lopter, the Deceitor, then this is most likely the outcome that'll happen in future lore. These are all the connections that have some merit. Some others, like Droplets being a younger Mardell or Freezing Curse being Naglfar, I feel like are a bit of a reach, but what does this all mean? Well, Generaider came out in Mystic Fighters, a deck building set, and 2 years later we've gotten Mystic Rune in a deck building set. So, although I hate that it'll take too long, it'll be 2 years before we get a conclusion to this story. Unless Generaider Generator is going to become the main lore archetype of Yu-Gi-Oh! After Dogmatica ends. The stage has been set for this to become the perfect Yu-Gi-Oh! Lore, the two main decks being literal opposites of each other in terms of playstyle, making your opponent draw versus making them mill. The use of game mechanics as storytelling makes this the best lore we will ever have, and Konami is giving us small hints that this is the case. Why else would they make Hela one of the 5 default icons of Master Duel? 1 out of every 5 players in Master Duel will have a Generator icon. Konami is getting us ready. The Generaider Mysterune story is starting. Every single set, it will have additions to the lore. The Adventurer engine, it's vaguely video game themed. It'll be all connected. It's another player character. The Cybers type, it's literally digital ever since the start of Reigns. Generator was being set up. Cybers type is just the MMO world. This is the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Generator will be the best deck ever. The 2 decks will be merged into one. The setup of Drytron and Norsar deck, the field spells, they're fusing. It was prep. We will be able to freely swap between the Generator and Mysterune field spells at will. We will master the field with Generator and Mysterune. The lore will be uncomparable to everything Yu-Gi-Oh! Has ever had to offer. This is my time. It's Generator time. Please subscribe.